And they're off in the finale, the Active Financial Planners maiden race. Steady pace towards the first of 20, Track for Fools in the white distinguishing cap going over the first. Oh, and unseating rider Plenty. Plenty's unseated. Will Easterby at the first, the horse continuing loose. And Will just behind the bush, but hopefully okay, as they go on very steadily towards number 2, Track for Fools. To the RussiansAdler, getting over that after a fashion. Behind these Duke Account in third, Sommelier is fourth, Letthedustsettle is in fifth, and the Loose Plenty racing alongside them. As they run towards number 3, tightly grouped field of 5, Track for Fools to the RussiansAdler, having a third go in this race, yet to finish. Sommelier in green and yellow, just racing in behind the red colours of Duke Account. And then a length or so to the back marker, Letthedustsettle and Joe Wright, who won this race in 2020 aboard Tony's Oscar. So they go across the far end of the course, on now towards number 4, Well Bunched. And going over it, Track for Fools on the right, on the left the RussiansAdler, then the nose-banded Duke Account. As they move on towards the 5th. In 4th position is Sommelier, just in front of Letthedustsettle, who was fancied before the on race course debut, going towards the 5th. That time, little to choose between the RussiansAdler on the outside of Track for Fools, the loose horse racing in front of them, a hare to the hounds if you like, as they run towards number 6. Will Easterby A-OK on his feet as they move round towards number 6. And it's the RussiansAdler on the outside of Track for Fools, close up Duke Account, then Sommelier taking a tug on the inside of Letthedustsettle. Loose horse might duck out here as they approach the horse boxes. The riders seem to be wise to the move as they jump number 6. And going over it, the RussiansAdler on the outside, and the Felix Barlow. White cap to the inside, Track for Fools, Thomas Easterby. As they move out very steadily indeed. We'll need miner's lamps at this rate. Long run round towards 7 and 8. Track for Fools, the RussiansAdler, length and a half to Duke Account. Sommelier with the yellow star and the yellow body, Letthedustsettle. The 5 runners turn left-handed and make the run now towards the plain ditch combination. 7 and 8. The RussiansAdler on the outside. Approaching this one, coming into the wings of it now to Track for Fools, the RussiansAdler, Track for Fools, Duke Account over a narrow third to Sommelier and Letthedustsettle. This is the open ditch for the first time, number 8. The RussiansAdler over safely, they swing right now towards the 9th. A reminder there to Sommelier as they move on towards 2 plain fences. So the RussiansAdler leading the field here. Was second at Hornby back in April. Sommelier was slow and deliberate that time when in last position. They move away towards the 10th, the RussiansAdler and Duke Account in red, pulled up in a big field at Charm Park recently in close attendance. So coming through for a share of the lead now as they go over another plain fence, the RussiansAdler over to Duke Account, Track for Fools on the inside, and then Letthedustsettle and Sommelier as they go left and range round towards 3 more fences over the far end of the course. The next one they jump, number 11. The RussiansAdler on the outside of Duke Account as they move on towards this. John Dawson opening up the winning today with Mount News, riding Duke Account here as they pop over this plain fence. The RussiansAdler on the outside of Duke Account, 2 lengths to Letthedustsettle in third. Track for Fools is 4th, Sommelier is 5th, about half a dozen behind the leader as they go on towards the middle fence in this section. The RussiansAdler and Duke Account, not much between them as they come over this one. The RussiansAdler just to Duke Account, Letthedustsettle in third. Track for Fools has gone backwards and is now sharing last as they run down towards the 13th. Has a bit of company now with Sommelier as they move on towards number 13 of the 20. So the RussiansAdler and Duke Account coming towards this one, 2 lengths in front to Letthedustsettle in third position. and this will be the final fence in a circuit's time. The Russian Sadler at the left, Duke Account on the right, a couple of lengths to Letthedustsettle, going sweetly enough in third on racecourse debut. Another reminder for Sommelier in fourth, but pushed along at the back of the field down track for Fools. So a long run round towards the next set of two fences. They're on their final circuit at the Hurworth in 2023, and railing to the inside, Duke Account having a second starting point today. Railing on the inside of the Russian Sadler, Felix Barlow in second position, having a nice start between the flags, and then after those, Letthedustsettle close up in third position to Sommelier, who hasn't given up the ghost, but Trap for Fools is being eased at the back of the field as they go towards number 14. Not much between the leading pair over that. The Russian Sadler will be on the inside as they approach the open ditch. The Russian Sadler to Duke Account. Letthedustsettle is over in third, Sommelier is fourth, and Trap for Fools is being pulled up as they move right-handed now towards the fifth last fence. So the Russian Sadler having a third start in this race, mixing it here with Duke Account to the inside. They're a length or so in front to Letthedustsettle on their coattails in third position. They've moved on a little bit now from Sommelier, 5 or 6 lengths behind, as they make the run towards the fourth last fence, the last in this line. The Russian Sadler on the outside, joined by Letthedustsettle, moving through in the centre of the trio. Duke Account towards the inside. The race bubbling up here between the three. They've moved on from Sommelier now, who's well back, as they turn towards the final set of 3 fences in this open maiden. Duke Account is turning first to the Russian Sadler on the outside. Letthedustsettle is close up in third as they jump the third last fence. Duke Account. The Russian Sadler hasn't given up, trying very hard to the outside, but Letthedustsettle going sweetly for Joe Wright as they come down towards the second last fence. It is Duke Account. Letthedustsettle on the right. On the wide outside, the Russian Sadler. 3 in a line at the second last. The Russian Sadler still hasn't given up, but coming through in red. Duke Account. Now the button is pressed on Letthedustsettle, forced to find reserves as they run down towards the 20th and final fence. And it is Duke Account joined by Letthedustsettle on the run towards the last. They're 2 lengths onto the Russian Sadler, but going for the final fence. Joe Wright on the right on Letthedustsettle, John Dawson and Duke Account. This is the last. Letthedustsettle and Duke Account. They land as one. They're on the hill. It's another thriller in the finale. And in the yellow, Letthedustsettle. In the red, Duke